Other cardiotonic that can be used, the drug that can be used as a cardiotonic is 𝗪𝗶𝗃, which is obtained from the 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁𝗃 gratus and 𝗪𝗵𝗿𝗂𝗪𝗔, and it is primarily used as a research tool, and it is containing the cardiac glycosides, which is occurring in the ripe seeds of gratus, 𝗪𝗵𝗃 gratus, and the bark of 𝗪𝗵𝗃, and 𝗪𝗵𝗃 binds with the sodium ATPase, that is nothing but the 𝗪𝗵𝗃 A, which is one of the major ingredient, major constituents, which is going to bind with the sodium potassium ATPase pumps and inhibits action, thereby causing a rise in the intracellular sodium ions. The mechanism of action is, it is going to interpret, or it is going to bind to sodium ATPase pumps and increases the sodium levels. So, this is how it is used as a cardiotonic. And the fruits of yellow oleander plant, that is nothing but 𝗪𝗵𝗃 neritifolia, it is reported to contain 𝗪𝗵𝗃 A, 𝗪𝗵𝗃 B and perovskite, which are the cardiac glycosides that can be used as cardiotonics. The major uses of this 𝗪𝗵𝗃 or the 𝗪𝗵𝗃 are nothing but they are used in the treatment of the congestive heart failure, where the systolic dysfunction is obtained. That is, the systolic dysfunction is nothing but the ventricles are dilated and unable to develop the sufficient wall tension to eject adequate quantity of the blood. So, and the systolic dysfunction, that is nothing but the ventricular wall is thickened and unable to relax properly during the diastole. So, ventricular filling is impaired, because of which output will be low. So, in these cases, in the congestive heart failure, which is because of the systolic dysfunction as well as the diastolic dysfunction, these cardiotonics can be used to increase the systolic as well as the diastolic blood pressure that can be mediated with the sodium levels. And these cardiotonics can be also used in the cardiac arrhythmias. These 𝗪𝗵𝗃 or the 𝗪𝗵𝗃 or the digitalis, these are used in the atrial fibrillation, atrial flutter and paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia. So, these are the major uses of 𝗪𝗵𝗃 as well as the 𝗪𝗵𝗃 nervifolia. The other category of the drugs are the gastrointestinal regulators and the carminatives, which are majorly obtained from the plant sources. And what do you mean by a carminative and what do you mean by a gastrointestinal regulator? A carminative is nothing but a drug that is used to relieve the pain in the stomach as well as the intestine. That may be due to the gas that is bulging out, or may be due to the some of types of the drug induced ulcers disease, or else during the peptic ulcer disorder. So, we can produce this that is nothing but excess of the gas will be present out. So, the pain also can be relieved by using of these carminatives. The carminatives are prescribed in the indigestion, that is, if the digestion does not occur properly, or else gastric discomfort, means if there is any excess of the HCl that is produced in the esophageal region or in the stomach region, in that case the gastric discomfort can also be seen, and even the loss of appetite, that is nothing but will not have the habit of taking the food. So, that is called as loss of appetite. And the drugs that are used as a carminatives are the fennel, coriander, cinnamon, cardamom and the caraway. These are some of the drugs that are used as a carminative. And the gastrointestinal regulators are nothing but the agents which regularize the activity of the GI tract, which increases the bitter stomach, antiemetics and appetizer, means which increases the food taking capacity, or which increases the emetic, which inhibit the emetic property and which produce that is stomach, that is the disorders, the discomfort that is associated with the stomach. The coriander is one of the major source, that is nothing but It is obtained from the Fructus coriandri. The synonyms are Fructus coriandri, coriander fruits. The other name that is available, the local name that is called as dhania, which is one of the major spices that is involved in that. And the biological source of this coriander consists of the dried ripe fruits of coriandrum. The dried ripe fruits of coriandrum 𝗪𝗏𝗵𝗿, which belongs to the family of 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, and the fruit will be like 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁 or subspherical, and the color will be like yellowish brown, and the size will be from 3 to 4 mm in diameter. Odors will be aromatic, and the taste will be spicy and aromatic. The chemical constituents that are present in the coriander are: it contains 1% of volatile oil. The chief volatile oil that is present is D-dextro-D+linalol, that is nothing but coriandrol, and the other constituents like borneol, parathymine or camphor or geraniol or limonene and the alpha pinene. These are the major constituents which are associated with the dhania, that is nothing but the coriander, and the fruit also contains the fatty acids as well as the hydroxycoumarin. And the therapeutic uses of this coriander are: it is used as diuretic, and so by increasing the diuresis the stomach pain can be relieved out. Along with that, it prevents the flatulence and controls the spasmodic. Flatulence means if there is any carbon dioxide that is present, or if there is any discharge of the gases that is present in the stomach, that can be relieved out by using of this coriander. And it can be also externally applied for the rheumatism and painful joints. And this infusion of the decoction of dried fruit of cardamom is also used for the treatment of sore throat, indigestion, vomiting, flatulence and other intestinal disorders such as tonic and epistaxis. That is a major use of the coriander, which is used as a GI regulator along with the carminatives. And the fennel is one of the other drug substances which the synonyms are fennel fruits and the Fructus phenoliacum sunf, and the other synonym are 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗃, and the biological source, it consists of dried ripe fruits of the plant known as Phoenicum vulgare, belonging to the family 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁 plant, because it all the fruits will be at the 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, and the morphology like green to yellowish brown, and the odor is sweet, aromatic and strongly aromatic and mucilaginous, and the size is from 5 to 10 and 2 to 4 mm in size. And the chemical constituents which are associated with the fennel are: it contains 3 to 7% of the volatile oil. The main ingredient is the volatile oil, and the chief active constituent of the volatile is a ketone that is called as frenchone and anethole. These are the major constituents that are present in that one, and it also contains the protein, fat, mineral, fiber and carbohydrates. And the total phenolic content are neochlorogenic acid, that is 1.40%, and it contains the chlorogenic acid 2.98% and gallic acid of 0.169%. The fennel can be used as a carminative, aromatic, stimulant and herbal supplement, which can be used in the treatment of infants and the nursing children suffering from colic or dyspeptic diseases that is associated with the neonates. That is, in smaller children we can observe these colic as well as dyspeptic disease. In that cases, the fennel water, that is nothing but the gripe water which is made from the fennel, that can be also used as a one of the constituent. and it is also used to treat the menstrual disorders, and it is also used in the treatment of dyspepsia and removal of the excess amount of the gases like carbon dioxide and the cough, and the roots were employed as purgative, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, and it is also used in the antioxidant, and it is also used as a flavoring agent. Because of that, it is used as one of the spices that is used in the kitchen. And the cardamom is the synonyms of the cardamom is cardamom fruit or cardamom seeds, or the other name is 𝗟𝐿𝐼𝐵𝐵, that is the general name. And the biological source, it contains dry fruits of Elateria, 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, and belongings to the family Gingiberaceae. And the morphology of this elachi or the cardamom is green to pale buff, and it is aromatic, agreeable and pleasant, and it is strongly aromatic, and the size will be like a capsule in the form of fruit, like 2 centimeters in length. And the chemical constituents, the seeds of the cardamom contains 3 to 6% of the volatile oil along with the fixed oils, and salts of potassium, a coloring principle that is present in it, and the active constituents that is present in the volatile is cineol. The cineol is a main volatile oil that is present in the cardamom, which produces, which can act as a GI tract, that is nothing but a regulator, and it is also used as a carminative. And other aromatic compounds are present are terpenyl acetate, terpineol, borneol, terpinene, etc. So, these are the major constituents which are associated with the cardamom. Then what are the different uses? The different uses are cardamom, it is used as a flavoring agent that will be used in different types of the sweets, and it is also used in one of the ingredient in the spices for the preparation of the biryani also, because and it is also having some aromatic smell. Because of that, we will be using as one of the ingredient in the kitchen, and it is also used as a carminative. And a stimulant, means which increases the stimulant property, CNS stimulant, and it is also used in the treatment of the respiratory disorders like asthma, bronchitis, cough, nausea, vomiting, indigestion, headache, diarrhea, colds, flatulence, and also used as a spice in the cooking. And the other drugs that is used as GI regulator and the carminatives are ginger. The ginger, the synonym is gingiber or gingiberis sonth. The biological source is ginger consists of the rhizomes of Gingiber officinale belongings to the family Gingiberaceae. The morphology of this gingiber is ginger is nothing but the buff colored. It is agreeable and aromatic in odor, and the taste is agreeable and pungent, and the size will be depending upon the rhizomes of the ginger. The main chemical constituents which are present in the ginger is around 1 to 2% of the volatile oil, and an acrid resinous matter like 5 to 8% will be present, and also along with that starch is also present. The volatile is contained in the sesquiterpene hydrocarbon like alpha gingiberol, alpha sesquiterpene, alpha alcohol alpha bis abyloin, and the pungent principle of ginger is gingerol and shagol, which is yellowish oily substances. And the therapeutic uses are, it is used as anti-emetic, means preventing from the emesis, spasmolytic, carminative, flavoring agents, means giving some flavor smell, and it is prescribed in the dyspepsia. Flatulent colic means that is used in the colitic region, and vomiting spasms, and it can be also used in the cold, cough, as well as in the treatment of asthma. So, because of the presence of the sesquiterpene hydrocarbons like gingiberol and sesquiterpenes, it is having these many therapeutic values, and it is also one of the ingredient that is used in the cooking purposes. The clove is one of the drug material plant which has been used as GI regulator along with the carminative, and the synonyms includes the cryophyllum, and it contains of the clove flowers, that is nothing but clove bud, and the biological sources consist of dried flower buds of eugenia. The flower buds of Eugenia caryophyllus and the family Myrtaceae, and the morphology is crimson to dark brown, and the odor is slightly aromatic. It is having pungent aromatic taste. Size is from 10 to 17.5 mm in length and 4 mm in width and 2 mm in thickness. The adulterated cloves can be easily identified based on the morphology of these cloves. The chemical constituents of the clove contains like 14 to 21% of the volatile, and the other ingredients present are the eugenol, acetyl-eugenol, gallotannic acid, and the two crystalline principles like alpha and beta caryophyllins. But the clove oil contains around 60 to 90% of the eugenol. And the therapeutic action of this clove is nothing but the dentist use the clove oil as oral anesthetic, means it reduces the pain in the oral region, and to disinfect the root canals, and it is used in the perfumery and kills the intestinal parasites and have broad antimicrobial properties, and it is used in the treatment of diarrheal condition, that is used in the intestinal worms, that is mainly caused due to the platyhelminthes and nematohelminthes, and it can be also used in the other digestive elements, and it is also used as antiseptic, stimulant, and carminative. So, these are the major chemical constituents and the uses of this clove, which is one of the major drug or the substances that is present in our kitchen, one of the ingredient in the kitchen. The black pepper, the other synonyms for the black pepper are kali mirch. Kali mirch means black, and Madagascar pepper, or it is obtained from Piper nigrum plant, and the biological source consists of the dried unripe fruits of Piper nigrum lin belonging to the family Piperaceae, and the black pepper will be like blackish in color, or in some cases it will be like brown or greyish black if it is not ripened out, and the odor will be aromatic and pungent, and the taste will be bitter in taste, and the size will be 3.5 to 6 mm in diameter, and the chemical constituents should not contain less than 2.5% of piperine and on dried basis, and pepper contains an alkaloid called as piperine, which is around 5 to 9%, and contains the volatile oil of 1.25% and pungent resin of 6.0, piperidine and starch about 30%. But the major ingredient that is present in the piper is piperine. Because of that, it is giving some stimulant property which is used as gastrointestinal agent as well as the carminative. The other drug that is used is the asafoetida. Asafoetida, the other name for the asafoetida is asafoetida. The other name is devil's dung or the hinge. It is also one of the ingredients that we in the kitchen, that is used in the cooking, and the biological source is obtained from the incision from the living rhizomes and roots of Ferula, Foetida and Regal. It belongs to the family of Umbelliferae, and it is yellowish white changing to reddish brown, and it contains, it will be, odor will be penetrating and the taste will be bitter, and the size will be the tears from 0.5 to 3 mm in diameter, and the chemical constituents are the volatile oil, that is the major ingredient that is present, 4 to 20%, and contains around 40 to 65% of resin and 25% of this gum. And the main active constituent of the oil is isobutylpropyl disulfide. It is having the odor like garlic, and the odor is due to the presence of the sulfur, and it contains alpha terpineol, myristic acid, limonene, frenchone, eugenol, lanolol, borneol, cardinol, farnesol and asafoetidine. And the therapeutic uses of this asafoetida is, it is used as carminative, and it is used as an expectorant, that is used in the cough and cold, and it is also used as antispasmodic, and it is also used as a laxative which relieves from the muscle movement, and it is also used in the treatment of cholera, asthma, whooping cough and chronic bronchitis. So, these are the major therapeutic uses which are associated with the asafoetida. Cinnamon. The other name for this one is dalchina chekka in our Telugu language, and the synonyms are cinnamon bark and dalchini, or else it is also called as kalmi. The biological source is, it is consists of the dried inner bark of shoots of copper trees of Cinnamon gelanica, which belongs to the family of Lauraceae, and the color will be like dull yellowish brown, the odor is aromatic, and taste will be the quills compound. But the major constituents which are associated with the cinnamon bark is 10% of volatile oil and 1.2% of tannins, whereas the volatile oil which contains the majority of 50 to 60% of the cinnamic aldehyde, along with 5 to 10% of eugenol, terpene, hydrocarbons and the small quantities of the ketones and alcohols. But the majority main ingredient that is present is the cinnamic aldehyde, and it is also containing the calcium oxalate along with starch and mannitol, and the basic therapeutic uses are used as a flavoring agent and antiseptic agent. The bark is used as carminative, releases the gas, stomachic, prevents from the stomach pain, mild astringent which precipitate the protein, and it is also used in the preparation of candies for the children, and it is also used in the perfumes. These are the major uses of the cinnamon which contains the active ingredient of the cinnamic aldehyde. Nutmeg. The main synonyms of the nutmeg are Myristicea, Nux moscata, 𝗪𝗡, biological source derived from the kernels of the seeds of Myristica fragrans, and the family will be like Myristicaceae. But the morphology of the nutmeg will be like greenish or brown in color, or the kernels will be like brown in color itself, and the odor will be the like strongly aromatic, and it is having the pungent and aromatic taste. And the chemical constituents which are associated with the nutmeg are 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗃, myristicin and saffrole. It is the other constituents along with the amisin, myristicin and saffrole. It also contains the geraniol and the terpineol to some extent. The main therapeutic uses of the nutmeg are the cancer treatment, diarrheal treatment, that is intestinal gas, nausea, and the nutmeg and its oil are used as stimulants, flavoring agents, and also used as carminatives. So these are the major therapeutic uses that are associated with the nutmeg. Then we will discuss about the next category of the drugs like astringents. Astringents are that group of substances that cause the contraction of the tissues and also dries the body secretion, that is nothing but the precipitation of proteins. The examples of the drugs that are used as an astringents are 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, black 𝗪𝗏𝗃 and pale 𝗪𝗏𝗃. 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, which contains the tannins like cebulic acid, 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, and synonyms are hardae, haritaki, and the 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁 is a mature dried fruits of Terminalia cebulia, which belongs to the family of Combretaceae, which contains the hydrolyzable tannins. The hydrolyzable tannins, they are responsible for the precipitation of the proteins, and the cebulinic acid and cebullagic acid and D-galloyl glucose are also one of the constituents. Along with that, it contains the anthraquinone glycosides, that is the senosides, and it is used as the astringent, laxative, stomachic, tonic, antihelminthic. That is nothing but this 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁 is going to prevent this it is going to have the antihelminthic property, that is means the parasite like platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes. These platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes can be removed out by using of this 𝗪𝗵𝗶𝗁, which is used as an astringent. Black 𝗪𝗏𝗃, which contains the tannins called as 𝗪𝗏𝗃. It consists of the dried aqueous extract prepared from the heartwood of Acacia 𝗪𝗏𝗃, belonging to the family Leguminaceae. And Acacia 𝗪𝗏𝗃, quercetin, gum quercetin are used as an astringent, which is major ingredient that is present in the black 𝗪𝗏𝗃, and externally it is used for the boils, skin eruptions and ulcers. These are the different uses of the black 𝗪𝗏𝗃 that can be used as an astringent. The other drug that can be used as astringent is pale 𝗪𝗏𝗃, which contains the tannins, and the other name for this pale 𝗪𝗏𝗃 is 𝗪𝗵𝗶, and it is a dried aqueous extract of the leaves and young shoots of Uncaria 𝗪𝗵𝗆, which belongs to the family Rubiaceae. And the catechin, the main ingredients are, the main active constituents are catechins, catechinic tannic acid, catechu red, quercetin, 𝗪𝗵𝗆, and it is used as astringent in the treatment of diarrhea. Mainly it is used in the dyeing and tanning industries. Tanning industries and dyeing industry is that nothing but giving some coloring and as well as forming a layer over the skin, that is used in the pale cottage can be used. And the identification of this will be like Gsambhir fluorescent test. So, here the confirmatory test for pale cottage is that the drug is to be extracted with alcohol, then sodium hydroxide is added to the extract, followed by the addition of a few drops of light petroleum. The mixture is shaken and kept for some time. If the green color fluorescence is observed in the light petroleum layer, so it indicates the presence of pale cottage. So, this is how we can identify the adulterants of the pale cottage. With this, we have completed the occurrence, organoleptic properties, biological source, chemical constituents, identification test for the different category of the drugs that are used as astringents or laxative or gastrointestinal agent or the cardiotonics. Thank you.